What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, and I'm back at y'all with another one. So, now we know, three-time junior middleweight world champion, superstar boxer, former undisputed junior middleweight world champion, Jermell Hitman Charlo, Iron Man Charlo. Heard that call out and what was said about him yesterday. Silence speaks volumes. He's 35 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. Yesterday, his former stablemate, they was close friends, I thought. Former unified 3-belt, WBA, WBC, IBF, welterweight world champion, superstar boxer, Errol the True Spence Jr., who has 28 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 22 wins by way of knockout. Jermell Charlo had called out Errol Spence, right? Shockingly, he called out Errol Spence. And in his call out of Errol Spence, he said there's no friends in boxing. Then he took it down, retracted it. You know how they do today's time. But Errol Spence was asked about the comments made about him and the call out from Jermell Charlo. And Errol Spence said, essentially, not even essentially, he said Jermell Charlo wanted money. Terrence Crawford retired. Canelo retired. What's the next biggest name he could find to get the big payday? Me. Then Errol Spence said, everybody know how them sparring sessions went with me and him. Ask Derek James, well-renowned trainer, multi-time trainer of the year, future Hall of Famer, and former trainer Errol Spence and Jermell Charlo. Ask Derek James how them sparring sessions went. Wow. I mean, when he said that, he didn't even leave it up to your imagination. He just told you he got the best of him in them sparring sessions, right? Jermell Charlo's bigger than Errol Spence. He's about 5'11", 73.5-inch arm reach. Errol Spence about 5'9", 72-inch arm reach. Errol Spence is southpaw. Errol Spence is a dog, though. He a dog. And he said, ask Derek James. Ask anybody who was there how them sparring sessions was going. Right? And Jermell Charlo, it went viral. Right? It went viral. You know Jermell Charlo seen it. Jermell Charlo had nothing to say. Nothing to say. Silence speaks volumes. I tell y'all that all the time. Silence speaks volumes. The fact that he had nothing to say about it. Now, is he scared of Errol Spence? No. Will he box Errol Spence? 1,000%. But as far as the comments that Errol Spence made, he just told us there was truth to them comments that Errol Spence made, because he would have immediately responded and been like, man, yeah, right. He ain't responded to none of that. He ain't say none of that. You know why? It must be truth to them sparring sessions. But I heard that many times over. Many people had told me now that Errol Spence had gotten the better of Jermell Charlo multiple times in the sparring session, because I used to talk about the size difference, right? Because people always said Errol Spence was a weight bully. And I used to say, when you compare Errol Spence's size to Jermell Charlo's size, physical, he's not, they fight at 154, he fights at 147, and you compare the size, he's a lot smaller than him. And people used to hit me up like, man, you know Jermell and Errol spar. A lot of people, multiple people, and Errol Spence be putting that work in, getting the best of them. And I'm like, word? I didn't see it personally. But close people to the situation used to tell me all the time, man, Errol Spence get the best of Jermell in sparring all the time. So therefore, this will be a huge fight. Nonetheless, Errol Spence is going to fight Tszyu, and he's getting a purse of $2.5 million. Right? A very close source, very close to the situation, told me Errol Spence is definitely coming back. Errol Spence is getting in shape. Well, he's already in shape. Roy Jones, I did a video of Roy Jones opened up a boxing gym in Dallas, Texas, where Errol Spence is from. And Errol Spence possibly training with Roy Jones. But I'm also told that he's been training in Philly with Breadman. And that, it looks like Breadman is going to be his trainer. And Errol Spence is going to fight former WBO junior middleweight world champion Tszyu, son of a legend Tszyu, in his next fight. Errol Spence has been out the ring for 2.5 years. In July, it'll be 3 years since Errol Spence was in the ring. I like the Tszyu. I love the idea of him fighting Tszyu. I love that. I know Errol Spence don't do tune-ups. He like the biggest names, so on and so forth. But I'm also hearing that this fight with Errol Spence and Tszyu is going to be in Australia. I heard that from Tszyu's team, as well as sources close to Errol Spence now, that fight is going to be in Australia. So, Tszyu wants to fight in Australia. Errol Spence is not in contact with Al Heyman. And Louis DeCuvis is offering this fight to Errol Spence to take place in Australia for $2.5 million. It's the lay of the land right now, man. The lay of the land, man. But after Tszyu, because I think Errol Spence is going to stop Tszyu. I love that fight. He don't got to look for Tszyu. He can knock off ring rust with Tszyu. It's the perfect fight, in my opinion, for Errol Spence. And then Jermell Charlo, man, that would be a super fight. That would be a massive payday, like Errol Spence said. So let's see how it unfolds and plays out, man. But that's all I got for y'all. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV. All one word. I'm gone. Peace.